Hello and welcome everyone. You know what? The temperatures are heating up. And you know what else? There's a pent-up demand for real estate, and I'm really excited. We're going to feature three of our very own in just a conversation about the use and the results of the Exit Ad Center. So we're so excited. I would like for each of you to meet all of our attendees today. We've got Kelly Vessels in Texas, Craig Strobel in Maryland, and Judy Rothamel in New Jersey. Welcome, panelists.
Hi. Thank you.
Now, everybody can see Kelly and you can see Judy, but you will not see Craig. Craig is actually off-site in, I think you're in Florida, right, Craig?
I am in Florida, yes.
Excellent. That's awesome. So listen, our attendees are in for a treat. Our panelists are going to share about their experience with the Exit Ad Center and how they're using it and leveraging actually Facebook's algorithm to drive business results. But first, let me address what exactly is the Exit Ad Center first. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pause my video so that you guys can see the full screen here. Excellent. So what's the Ad Center? So for today, for our newest Exit associates, this is going to help inform you on what it is, but it's also going to serve as a great refresher for our associates that already know about the Exit Ad Center, and it's going to most certainly raise awareness for our guests who are invited on today's Techinar. So what is it exactly? Well, it's an integrated platform where the best of Facebook and Exit's goals have come together. Because over the last, I would say nearly 2 years, our leadership at Exit and the leadership at Facebook began a special partnership. Now, the power of Facebook and the heartbeat of Exit, that's how we look at it. And we educated Facebook on our culture, our model, and goals of the organization, which you're probably wondering, what exactly are the goals of Exit? Our goal is to help our agents close more business, period. Now, we focused on a few non-negotiables, okay? We focused on making sure that creating Facebook ads, it's got to be easy, okay? It should not take you more than 5 minutes or less to generate an ad. In addition, Facebook ads must be effective. And when I say it must be effective, return on our investment, that is absolutely what we are looking to do here, okay? We want a return for our associates' investment. The third thing that we discussed with Facebook is a non-negotiable, which is returning quality leads. That was really important. We want to make sure that our associates connect with real people to serve their real estate needs. And you know what? We've done it, and I'm going to show it to you. So first and foremost, right here, we've got Facebook's platform and Exit's data. It's now combined in one easy-to-use platform. So no more logging, into the Facebook platform to start from scratch in the Facebook Ads Manager. Our associate listings are integrated, and if you don't have listings, and you still want to use our platform, you can, because we have a gallery of images loaded with formatted graphics and videos, which saves our associates from having to outsource or create themselves. And of course, this works great when you have your own Facebook business page, but it's not required to participate because we have a backup business page that associates can use. It's called the Agent Experience. We encourage them to use it for as long as they'd like to. They can generate leads until they have their own professional Facebook business page set up for themselves. Now, our proven blueprints are used to market your listings or to recruit or sponsor. And when I say proven, I mean that our team created over 900 ads until the right results were achieved and we were mutually satisfied. So simply pick what you're trying to accomplish. You can edit some or none of the text. You can edit the image if you choose. Then you can choose to run your ad, and then you choose your ad budget. Within the same platform as you'd expect, okay, you can monitor the success of the ads and you can manage the leads that you generate as well as how you wish to interact with the leads that you're generating. Now, for associates needing additional support, we have tutorials in both the dashboard the Resource Center, and in the Exit Realty Connect app. And listen to this, not one video is longer than 7 minutes, because that's how long it takes to create an ad from start to finish. Now, if it takes longer than that, you're not doing it right. And we encourage our associates to call in and connect with our franchise support team, who absolutely love helping our people. Now, we announced this partnership from the convention stage last year in Nashville, Tennessee, and we also featured a breakout session, which is absolutely record-breaking. We had so many people in that breakout session. Our attendees got to meet the leadership at Exit, Evocalize, and also Facebook. But we have additional resources. Okay, we have recordings of the convention breakout, so that if an associate was not able to attend, they get to hear exactly what was announced at convention. We also have webinars giving our associates step-by-step, right, and best practices, not only for agents, but we also have it for owners. We've created flyers, which our owners use to communicate the value to our associates, and they include them in their recruitment packages for agents they want to invite into their offices. And you know what? We put a huge emphasis on associates who are having success, and they openly share how they're using the tools to drive business, just like we're doing today, right? So we're going to dive into a conversation with our panelists. So I'm going to hop back on the web here. First up, we're going to bring Kelly Vessels. Kelly is from Exit Realty Pro in Canton, Texas. So if you have any referrals, make sure that you connect with Kelly. Kelly, you've been in the industry just a little over, and I mean just a little over 3 years, but you within the first year, you're already breaking records. You have Rookie of the Year twice. Not only are you receiving multiple top producer awards locally, but nationally with Exit. Tell us a little bit about that. You are making, you're breaking records. How are you doing that?
Ignorance on fire. If I can say that.
Hear that?
Ignorance on fire.
I think that's a tweetable message there.
Really, it's just the guidance and directions that I've had with my brokers, with Exit Realty, everything that's techie that makes me look smart. I mean, it's really just been overwhelming success because of Exit, because of the strategy that they've showed me how to use, and the things that they've taught me, my mentors. Everything is open door here, and we're family. So it's really been a blessing to be able to move as fast as I've been able to move.
That's great, Kelly. Let me ask you, so we're in a unique times, wouldn't you say, with the global pandemic going on? What was your feeling about social media before this global pandemic, and what's your feeling about social media now?
Follow the positive. If you're seeing a lot of negative on social media, get rid of it, and actually be a positive. Be positive. Don't be negative, and don't join the groups that are being negative. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I hope I am. I just try to stay positive and try to make sure we're moving forward all the time. The chapter from the past and the chapter in the future is not going to be the same as the present where we are right now. So we need to make sure that this chapter matters, so the next chapter we grow into.
So Kelly, you're leveraging social media, you're building a presence, you're talking to your audience about being available for service. Give us some examples. What are some things that you're posting on social media, specifically Facebook, to start building a conversation with people you haven't even met yet?
I'm actually using a lot of the Ad Center. I've used the Ad Center only 8 times, really. I've only used it 8 times. I've used it, first time I used it was in December, and to get the leads that I've gotten actually it's doing so many things in one. It's creating leads for me, but most importantly, it's creating exposure for my listings, which we're getting paid to do by our sellers. So in order to engage with them, it actually returns when somebody clicks on the link, when somebody puts in their information, it sends me that information. It tells me how to reach them, whether they want to be emailed, text message, a phone call. A lot of people, this world is going today, it's so techy, but at the end of the day, people still want to meet you. They still want to talk to you. They want to talk to a real person and know who to get a hold of. And they're looking for a friend, and they're looking for somebody to listen to, that listen to them. So that's really all I'm doing is connecting and listening and making sure that the marketing that I'm using is benefiting my clients, all the way around, whether they're listing their property or buying a property. If they're not interested in the property that we have listed that they clicked on, maybe I can find them one that they are listed, that they are interested in.
So this is interesting. One of the first things you said is you've submitted 8 ads into the ad center, and people can see on the screen here the number of leads that you're generating, impressions, 4,900 impressions. Okay, impressive. The cost per click and the cost per lead is unbelievable what you're doing. Tell me a little bit about your follow-up. You're generating leads, and it's quickly to fall behind. How are you staying on point with your leads? And can you give us an example of a lead that you're converting right now?
Man, that's a great question. Again, they need to meet me. I need to meet them. We need to be face to face. And most importantly, they're looking to buy. They're looking for something. They're looking to, I mean, you may have tire kickers, what I like to call some people, and that's okay. And we're all tire kickers. You know, we all think and dream and want. And as long as we're meeting their needs and educating them clients through the process, then we just need to be their go-to. We don't need to be their salesman. If we're their salesman, it's not going to work for both parties. We need to be their friend. We need to be their go-to. We need to be the one that they reach out to if they need a plumber. You know, we need to be on point all the time and answer your phone.
Well, Kelly, let me ask you, how are you, so you get a lead. Give us the kind of steps of what you're doing to follow up with them.
Okay. Well, once I get a lead, they're gonna tell me if they want to be emailed, if they want to be a phone call or text message. So I reach out to them, and a lot of times they may not get back with you. I don't take it personal. Everybody's busy and everybody's shopping on the weekends or in the evenings, and they're busy during the day. So if I reached out to them at a certain time and they didn't respond, I'll reach out again later at a different time, and I'm gonna, in the meanwhile, what I'm doing is looking for their right time. Once I find their right time and see when they're available, then I just move forward with the leads. I set up a meeting. I never end a meeting without setting up another meeting.
So that's powerful. Did you guys hear that? I wrote down 2 things. So one, reach out and ask how they prefer to be connected with, right? That's huge. It's not us forcing our conversations. It's understanding how they want to be communicated. And then the other, never end an opportunity without setting up the next opportunity to connect. Can you give us an example of someone that you're speaking to now that potentially is thinking about buying or selling?
Yeah, there's several. What I did for just one in particular that I'm thinking about from the ad center was a cold lead. We call them cold leads, right? We don't know them. They don't know us. I just reached out because they reached out first. I actually did an ad. They reached out on it, emailed them because they said they wanted to be emailed. Got in contact with them, got their phone number. I got to talk to them on the phone so they could hear my voice instead of just a text or an email. So after I did that, I was able to meet with them. They got to meet, see face to face. And this whole time I'm building a relationship, not mainly talking about what they're wanting to buy. I'm really talking about what who their family is, you know, and if they're married, if he has kids, what's going on in his life. A lot of people, like I said earlier, they just want somebody to listen to them. And that's what I do. I just listen to them, but I'm also educating them through the process. And like you said earlier, it looks like I'm doing a lot. I'm selling a lot of properties, but I like to say I've never sold a property. I've educated my clients through the process, and ended up with a paycheck, you know. But I've made great friends out of the process, and repeat customers and great referrals. So that's my ultimate goal, is to continue getting referrals and continue to making clients happy. Let's reverting them into friends.
Well, and you're also generating a lot of great 5-star reviews too, Kelly. I was peeking. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. You know, you want to treat people, even though they're online leads, and chances are they're speaking with other realtors, in addition to you, when you make them feel like a human and not like a transaction, the magic happens, right? Thanks,
Right.
Kelly. We're going to come back to you here in just a little bit. Let's bring on board Craig. I know you guys can't see Craig, but he is the owner of Exit Preferred Realty in Bel Air, Maryland. You know, he is revered by his agents. They absolutely love and support him. Craig, share a little bit about what your leadership style is like in your office.
That's an easy one, Ned. I believe my leadership style is pretty simple. I don't really act as an agent very often because I'm the broker and have 50, 60 some agents that work for me. So I try to treat them like I would have been treated when I was an agent. And I always remember I was an agent working every day. So that works out real good. And I treat them all like family.
I think that's fantastic. That's why your office, now you've received many awards and a lot of recognition because of your leadership. And, you know, I believe that your agents are not that I believe, I see them actually leading like you and helping each other in all times. So congratulations to you and how you take care of your people. You know, you've been, what I really respect about you and Judy in just a second is that you are leaders, in that you don't tell your agents, hey, you should do this, but then you not do it yourself. You're doing it. And you're leveraging the Exit Ad Center. Tell us a little bit about what was your first impression when you heard about the Exit Ad Center?
Well, I love the concept when I heard about it. When I tried to do it at first, as you know, I'm not high techy, so had difficulties there, but I'm sure it was mostly me, not them. But it's good to use because it works better than doing it yourself. For those of you who try to do postings and do some of them yourself, what happens is you go to post them and Google kicks them out and says, you know, wordings aren't this or that. But all the ones that go through the Ad Center go through. So that was a learning curve.
You know, that's a really important nugget right there, is if you go into Facebook yourself and you try to build from scratch, knowing the proportion of image to text, those ratios, and they change all the time. So you have to really be on top of the formatting and metrics. How do you know if you're being effective or not? You don't have that relationship with Facebook. You're basically your one-man band doing it on your own. Let me ask you, Craig, were you posting before the Exit Ad Center? And now that you're posting with the Ad Center, are you increasing your ads with the Ad Center?
Well, we took a break after pandemic got, let's say, worse. And it was difficult, and we had too many people, including me, that was scared, and you had other chores to do. So, but now, as I told you the other day, we're getting back to do some more of that. So I have it planned to start later this week or next week, because in Maryland on the East Coast, we don't have a problem with buyers. We have a problem finding enough inventory. Our inventory is too low. So we can sell the properties. Now the benefit is when you do the ad, it will help sell the property. As Kelly said, it'll make your client happy because you're doing something, but we also get leads. So we pick up some leads that we didn't have, which are good too. So, but inventory is our biggest problem on the East Coast.
So you've generated 241 leads. What's your plan for your follow-up with those leads? And what's the result been as a result of the leads?
Well, the results weren't quite as good as I wanted, but it had to do with pandemic and
Sure.
the agents and myself all getting away from it. So now we're going back into it. The market in Maryland, at least for June, is hot. You know, I've had 3 of my agents so far this month that have had $1 million days and $1 million weekends. So that's a little unusual, but I'm happy.
That's wonderful. Have you generated listings as a, have your listings gone up in your market because of the Exit Ad Center?
Hard to say. I'm hoping it does because we need more listings and we're working with programs to try to do that. But when you place the ad in the ad center, you will get results. You get people. You have a couple tire kickers, as we would say. Very few bad things, addresses and stuff, because they check those. And
Let's
if
talk
you do
about
what they say,
that.
go ahead.
Sorry, Craig, let's talk about that. I'm sure you've used other programs that provide leads,
Yeah.
online leads, or that help you generate online leads. And then you've got the Exit Ad Center that's producing leads. Let's talk about the contact information about those leads and other platforms versus the Exit Ad Center and what you've seen as far as good returns on connecting you with real people. What's your experience been?
Well, I've used them all. I've been with Exit for 14 years. So I've used everything because I'm one of those kind of people, keep trying to get something that works great for our clients and our agents. But I like the fact they ask the questions of how would you like to communicate. You communicate with them. It all works out from that standpoint. So, they're better quality because of the questions they ask.
All right, so better quality. I think that's where the return on the investment comes in, right? You're spending some, you're putting a financial, you're leaning into this, an investment. You want to make sure that your return on your investment equates to quality leads, not people who say, I have no idea how you got my information. I wasn't even looking. You're connecting with real people with good quality emails. I think that's great. Now, you've created over 31,000 impressions. You're starting to build a brand. And actually, you've got 241 leads, Craig. So even during a pandemic, you've got a pipeline, which is something that most can't speak about.
And we've been working on that. And I'm glad you mentioned the branding. So I think that was very important because during the pandemic, I guess it's still going on. More people were in the computers looking, and we were seeing some activity. Hard to equate where all your activity comes from, but we got phone calls and leads that we weren't normally getting. Some you can generate from this, some not. But the Ad Center is a blessing.
Well, thanks, Craig. I really appreciate that. We're gonna circle back to you in a minute, so don't go away. Let's feature Judy. Judy, welcome. So glad that you're here. She's with Exit Realty JP Rothermel, and she's in Southern New Jersey. She is the owner and broker of record. Judy, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
First of all, why did you join Exit?
Why did I join that?
Why did you join Exit? You've been with us for some time. And
Yeah.
what's special about Exit for you?
Believe it or not, we opened our doors on November 1st, 2010, when everybody else in New Jersey was shutting down. And I was able to, I was working with Weichert at the time, and we had not closed a deal in 2 years. I mean, it was really getting very bad in New Jersey. And we're a very regulated state. So a typical foreclosure would take a minimum of 18 months, but because of everything that was going on, the lawsuits with the mortgage companies, the IRS problems that they were having, and also Sandy, when Sandy hit and totally destroyed the East Coast, people were staying in their homes and not paying their mortgage, and some of them were in their homes waiting for the foreclosure process, which took anywhere from 2 to 4 years, and just waiting to be evicted. And that's pretty much what happened. And we really got hit hard on that particular situation. And I had gone to my broker and I'd asked her if we could probably get involved in doing some distressed properties, and she said that there was no money in that and that she didn't think it would work. And then she had set up a meeting with me with the South Jersey broker of record, and I asked her the same question, and she said, no, we don't do that. It doesn't pay for us to do that. It takes too much of our time. And then I also talked with some of the other major companies, Remax, Global Banker, Century 21, Prudential Fox and Roach, and they were all saying the same thing, that they were not interested in getting involved in short sales or foreclosures. So I met Jack, and he's our owner of New Jersey, and he told me about Exit, and I was watching some videos and everything, and I got what Steve was doing with the company, and also it seemed like they were ahead of everybody watching us, knowing that they were going to go into the same situation that we were already in. And I said, oh, I'm going to hang my license with Exit. And he said, no, you're going to purchase a franchise. I said, no, I'm not. He said, yes, you are. So he kept beating me up until finally I did. I purchased the franchise in May 2010, and we opened our doors in November 2010. And we've been here ever since. Now, you have to understand, we are a listing agency. So most of our listings, probably up 45% of our listings for all these years have been foreclosures, REOs, short sales, estates, reverse mortgages, you name it. If it had a problem, we were the ones who were getting it done. So we did a lot of listings, but we didn't do a lot of buyers. And very small boutique office, the agents that really wanted to do that kind of a business. And in I guess the beginning of 2019, it looked like the situation was changing, that the distressed properties were kind of either settling and kind of diminishing. There was more, I guess, real estate companies coming in. Keller Williams came in, Long and Foster came in, ERA came in, and they were also doing a lot of the foreclosed properties, the distressed properties. So we decided that we needed to look for something else, and we decided we were going to go after the buyer's market. During that 9-year period, I had a relationship with Zillow, and I was paying a lot of money every month, and I was kind of pushed into it because the agents expected it, and also it was what everybody else was doing. But I can tell you, in 9 years, with all the money I spent, I never closed a deal for Zillow, never. And every time I would question them, and I would say, well, I don't get it. What's going on here? You know, we're following up. We're not getting good information. And they would say, well, you have to spend more to make more. And so finally, at the beginning of 2019, I said, forget it, we're done. And that was the end of it. And then we were trying to figure out what we were going to do, because we knew that our pipeline with the REOs we thought was going away. And when I went to the convention and they did the platform, the integrated platform with, excuse me, with Facebook through the Exit Ad Center, I thought it was intriguing. I'm not a techie person, so I had no clue what was going on. My son is, and then I have another part-time IT person too. So when we came back from convention, we decided to give it a shot. So what we did was we picked 3 properties in different locations, far away from each other. We did one up in Mercer County, we did one in Burlington County, we did one in Ulster Township, which is Camden County, just to see what was going to happen. And the ads were very easy to put in. I probably could have done it, but we didn't. And it was pretty much, we used the MLS information, the address, the price, the picture, and that was the information that was put in for the ad. And it just kind of, we started getting leads and leads and leads and leads and leads. And the information coming back was good because it was first and last name, it was a cell phone, it was an email address. They asked the question, are you working with an agent, yes or no? So most of them said no. What's your timeline? They would give us, 1 to 2 months, 3 to 6 months, over 6 months, browsing, whatever. So we were able to take those leads and we were able to rate them and figure out what was going on. Plus, we were starting to see where the same person might be looking in Mercer County at that ad, and then all of a sudden was down in Gloucester County looking at another ad down in Gloucester Township, or might be in Burlington County. So it was like the same people were coming back into the ads, but it was difficult to figure out where they wanted to be. So we had to put together a program to see if we could make more out of what we were getting, the information. And we did. So since most of the people wanted to be contacted through email, we started by putting together a 7-day email program where they got 7 emails related back to the property that they were looking at. And in the email, they would be clicking into our company website. And then everything was going really well, and we were trying to put together a buyer's team and everything, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit and everything came to a screeching halt. But we weren't finished because we never stopped. We just kept doing the ads anyway, and we kept getting leads, and then we decided that, okay, we're going to take this opportunity now to brand and get us higher in the internet world, I guess you could say. So that's what we did. We started branding. So besides doing the email program, everybody was added into the company newsletter, which goes out every two weeks. So they ended up seeing us every 2 weeks. And then we also, because we have our website with OnJax, we were able to set up listing alerts for the specific area that they were at. So if they were interested in Mercer County, we were able to hook them into Mercer County. And if they came back into our website and was looking at listings that we had sent to them, the alerts, then we knew we had them. So all we were trying to do is keep them with us. And I agree, you know, real estate is a relationship building business, and it does take time. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. I can tell you that putting an ad into the ad center for 30 days is anywhere from $68 to $75 for the month. It's really very cost effective, and is branding you, and it's getting you out there. And the best part about it is, I think also the agents are seeing that too, because I can tell you, I don't do Facebook, I don't do LinkedIn, I don't do any of that stuff. That's not me. I'm a person type thing. But the people around me do it, and they do it well. And we 4 to 5 times a week we're sharing, we're posting on LinkedIn, Facebook, and everything, and we're doing marketing tips. We're also blogging through our website and everything. You know, if someone was to ask me how to do it, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but we do have people here that I was able to maintain through the pandemic, which I didn't want to lay anybody off. So we changed their goals, changed our goals, changed our focus. And that's what we've been doing ever since. That was kind of branding us and moving us up the ladder.
You know,
and it's an ongoing adventure.
I love it. Well, I've got a few things that I've written down. First of all, you haven't stopped leveraging this platform since convention, which is, that's one great lesson. Consistency is so important. You're generating leads, the amount of impressions, you're branding yourself out there in your marketplace, phenomenal. You're also leveraging your website to hook them in, and you're doing those listing alerts. The newsletter, though, I mean, that's really where they're going to get to know you, and they get to really see the culture in your newsletter, which goes out every 2 weeks. And then you know where your best, where your strengths are, and you leverage the strengths of those you surround yourself with people who have a specialization, and you have your specialization. So together you make a phenomenal team, and each person has their role that they enjoy doing. And then what you said in this last part is that really it's not your goals that have changed, it's the activities, right? So that you guys can stay, you can thrive even during a pandemic by continuing with your pipeline, which is more than what I can say for most. Thank you, Judy. Now don't go anywhere, because I've got more for you. For our audience, you know what, since the Exit Ad Center launched, you know, initially, this is 60 days after launch. I want to share with you some numbers here on the screen. So despite the pandemic, you know, that we're in, there's absolutely opportunity. There's never been a better time to create your own Facebook ad, and maybe you've wanted to, but it required too many steps, or maybe you didn't want to retype your entire listing. detail all over again, or maybe you weren't sure what ads were effective and which were. Maybe you just did one ad and you really didn't see the value, so you decided to stop. I encourage all of you, with access to this free platform, to generate your ads right now. Our team is absolutely standing by, and they can give you additional support if needed. I actually, one of our broker owners a couple days ago called and said, I don't get it. I don't know how to do this. I literally got on the phone with her. Less than 5 minutes, she was good to go. She was like, oh, okay, this is really great. So it's really that easy. You know what? Facebook states right now that the conversion rate has absolutely increased 47% of real people interested in real estate right now, and the cost to run ads has decreased by 25%. So now is an absolute great time to leverage the system. But take a look at the numbers. What we did initially in our first 60 days is radically different from where we are today. Let me share with you some numbers. This was just in our recent blog post that we did on realestateindustryleaders.com. So go check that out, write that down. There's amazing. I want you to go to the full article because the numbers are insane of what specifically our agents are doing to generate leads. Go to realestateindustryleaders.com, check it out. But I want you to note the numbers that we have. Over 325,000 ad impressions have been served. Okay, 18,000 leads have been generated from listing ads and 386 from recruiting ads. We've doubled. These numbers have doubled the number of people that are using the Exit Ad Center, which is super exciting. Now, you know what? Before we finish up here, Craig, go ahead and unmute yourself. I want to just go ahead and just circle back, right? If someone has something that you'd like to share, I want each of you. I want you to place yourself in the seat of one of the attendees listening and giving them your best advice. What advice would you have? Give them one thing that you believe is really important for them to take the use of the Exit Ad Center and just grow, their pipeline exponentially. Kelly, will you go ahead, share what's one thing that you want the attendees to make sure that they walk away with?
Well, I can try to limit it down to one, but I think, like you said, now is a great time. Why? Because when are most people on social media? Think about that. Weekends, evenings, maybe before they go to bed, maybe at lunch. Think about things like that. And the reason why I say right now is a great time is because we're coming up on July 4th, right? A lot of people are going to be off work. A lot of people are going to be looking at Facebook, looking at social media. So why not spend $30? Or I wrote down some notes because, for example, today is the 24th. If you do a 12-day ad, what you're going to do is get 2 weekends out of that ad. And it's going to, if you run that little meter and spend $88 on 12 days, you're averaging $7.33 an ad. And instead of spending $88 on fireworks, spend $88 on your clients.
Yes.
And I promise you it's going to benefit you. You're going to be writing contracts the week after the 4th because of this one ad that you did. Go ahead. You got something?
That's a good tip. That's a really good tip to include 2 weekends. So smart.
Yeah, try to grab 2 weekends. But additionally, I know all of us are feeling the hit. A lot of us are feeling the hit. They're struggling. They're feeling the change. I know a lot of us, you hear back to normal a lot. We want to go back to normal. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I want to tell you the truth. Normal's not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Normal's not coming back. And you're probably right, because life will never be the same. But why does that have to be a bad thing? Why can't it be the greatest thing that ever happened to you? Just like Judy was saying, man, I was taking some notes from both you and Craig and the distressed properties. So you made things happen. You didn't wait for the wave. You created the wave, and that's why you're a part of Exit, is because we are a part of the wave. We're ahead of that, and we're creating waves. So we're always evolving. We're always moving forward. So always have a plan to be taught something. You know, you always need to be ready to be taught something every single day. Be ready to be taught something. And I'll finish this up right here. I have a couple of rules that I go by. One is never quit, and two is know your ABCs. And I made a little thing here too. Your ABCs is always be closing. You see that?
Love it.
Always be closing. Always be closing. Always be looking for your next opportunity. Always fill the pipeline. Don't worry about the negative. Keep moving for the positive, and you're gonna be successful. And make sure you're being positive toward others. That's what I got.
High five, Kelly. That's a good one. Okay, Craig, you're up. Give us a piece of advice for our attendees watching today. What do you believe is going to help them in their use of the Exit Ad Center to convert more business?
I think that's easy. So let's look at what the problem is. Agents are always afraid of new things. So my piece of advice to them is not to be afraid to use the Ad Center and be patient with the leads becoming immediate buyers because you are branding, but every agent wants immediate success. If they put an ad out there, that person doesn't buy that property or give them an immediate lead, they want to go on to something else. Be patient.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice. I love that. And don't be afraid, right? If you
Right.
struggle with anything, pick up the phone. We have real humans, like people who enjoy getting phone calls, even if it's a silly question. That's what we're here for. All right, Judy, give it to us. What's your advice?
I think that the most important thing is not give up. That's for sure. And Kelly's right. We're not going to have the same normal world that we were living in before. If anything, it's going to be totally changing over the next 6 to 8 months, maybe even the next year and a half. We're not really sure what's going to happen. But I think you have to keep focusing on developing relationships and also building your pipeline. I think that's extremely important. I can tell you that my experience with Zillow, and maybe they were right, maybe I had to spend maybe a lot more to get something, but I'm finding that out of all the leads that I've gotten since we've started, maybe less than 1.5% were bad information. And that's incredible. I mean, you can't really put a price tag on that. And you are the person that they're going to call to come to you the more you do on social media. So, yeah, I mean, we get a lot of interesting phone calls from people asking for certain things that maybe they normally wouldn't be calling us, but I think because they see us in the social media or in the internet, that's the reason why they're calling. And it's a great time to develop relationships that. Plus, I was able to bring on board 3 agents, 2 brand new agents, which I felt so bad because
You're growing your office during a
they
pandemic.
started and then 2 weeks later we were shut down. You know? I mean, they had just literally put their feet in the office and they were told, go home, don't come back. But God willing, they're closing their first property in July 10th, fingers crossed.
Right.
And they have a couple other buyers that they're dealing with and working with. So that, and they're qualified to go. That's great. But our problem is we don't have a lot of inventory. And the third person that came on board, she just came on board within the last 4 weeks. So she definitely came on board in the middle of the pandemic. And she was a transfer from BHHS. So she's, you know, I mean, they have, all 3 of them have such an energy and such a, I guess, a passion to do something right and work with people. And they each have their own little clique that they're looking to do. And it's good. And this gives them the opportunity to work with more buyers and work with more investors. And I think that's good. Unfortunately, the era of us not doing distressed properties is probably short-lived. I think we're going to be right back into it again the end of this year to beginning of 2021. So we'll be doing both. We'll be, you know, heading down both paths, and hopefully we'll be able to be extremely successful. But I think you can't give up. You have to keep going, and you have to do what's right.
I love that. Will you do me a favor, Judy? Send me the name and email of the agent who's closing their first deal. I'd definitely love to send them a congratulations email, okay? Now, for our attendees, you know what? Well, first of all, thank you, speakers. You're amazing. Craig, we miss seeing your face, okay? But we can hear you, and we love and appreciate you for doing this with us. You know, I want to thank our speakers. For our attendees, take a picture of the screen that you see in front of you. You've got each of our speakers. You've got their mobile business card. If you have specific questions, you want to reach out to them, don't hesitate. You'll have their contact information. Just open up a brand new text message, text their vanity code to 85377, send them an email, send them a way to go, right? Maybe a handwritten note's not bad either. But if you have specific questions on how they're using the Exit Ad Center, don't hesitate to reach out, and absolutely send them a referral when you happen to know someone in the area that they can serve. Are we good? Okay, everybody's going to do that. Fantastic. Now for all of our attendees, be sure to watch your email for a follow-up. I'll be doing a quick wrap-up video. I took some great notes. So I'm just going to do a quick little synopsis video. We'll also include the link so that you can re-watch this episode, because if you're like me, I got notes everywhere. You guys should see my desk. It's crazy. But you know what? It's not a new normal, guys. It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be the new focus, the new better, the new great. So go make it. In the meantime, do stay connected with us at Exit Realty Corp International. Join us for other events like this. Each month, the fourth Wednesday of the month is a Techinar, where it's open to the entire public. So anyone you know who would like to lean in a little bit closer to Exit, they're always welcome. Again, our speakers, thank you so much. We're so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for continuing to support Exit, the tools, and everything that we have here to help you be successful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Make it a great day, everyone. God bless.
Yes.